Hello, everybody. Cheers. And thank you for stopping by yet another edition of the Massachusetts Beer Reviews channel of YouTube. My name is Thomas Metal 75. There it is. And this is your Massachusetts Beer Review. And today we are taking a little look at a lesser thought of and lesser thought about adjunct lager, or just a light lager, not adjunct actually, from the Anheuser-Busch company. Let me see if I can get the lighting correctly here. So yeah, a lesser thought of light lager from the Anheuser-Busch company and from the Michelob line. No, not Michelob Ultra. We have Michelob Light, which I believe came out in, I have the information right here. It came out, I believe, in 1978. This was introduced as the industry's first sub-premium light beer, and it was the second of the Anheuser-Busch light beer offerings, following the introduction of Natural Light, which happened in 1977. And for those that don't know, Michelob started all the way back in 1896 by Adolphus Busch, and he introduced Michelob as a, quote, beer for connoisseurs, and it was only available in draft. And at the time, it was $8 a barrel for that beer, which was a very high price for beer at the time, the highest price for draft beer. But it wasn't until 1961 where the beer started, the Michelob line started getting put into bottles, and then they introduced that classic teardrop bottle shape in 1966. Pretty cool stuff. So this is a 4.1% alcohol by volume light lager with 122 calories, 8.9 carbohydrates, and 1.2 grams of protein. And the commercial description is Michelob Light is a full-flavored and rich-tasting European-style light lager, offering a malty sweetness and a aromatic hop profile. Water, barley malt, corn, and hops. And on the can, they say that this is an American light lager brewed with a blend of Hallertau, Strisel Spalt, and other hop varieties, and I believe some kind of two-row malt. It's probably in the beer. I thought I read somewhere on the internet. So let's get a pour going down on the Michelob Light. What's in the box? What box? I don't know. Anyways, let's get a pour of the Michelob Light. Cheers, everybody. In a Stella Artois chalice, because why the hell not? I don't use these very often. All right. Michelob Light. Very well, it's not very light, actually. It's got a nice golden color to it, almost like a regular American style lager or European Euro style lager. I mean, look how bright white that head is, and it's 2 and a nail's worth of head. Very nice. Cheers, drunken one. All right. And it just looks champagne, it doesn't have a giant stream of bubbles, but it's looking pretty good. Let's get a nose on the, almost at Stella Artois. Let's get a nose on the Michelob Light. So Michelob, I don't know about the Michelob Ultra, but I don't believe that one's an adjunct-free beer. All the Michelob beers are pretty much 100% malt beers. And I'm smelling a little bit of paperiness, a little bit of, I don't know if that's the can, a little bit of like the wet basement. But besides the wet kind of grains, I'm getting the nose of some really good earthy hopping to it. I'm getting a good pale maltiness. I am getting a nice white bready note to it. Yeah, nice white bready malt, pale malt, crackery, and that earthy kind of hopping. So some sweet malts too. So it smells really good. It smells really, really, really good. So let's see, Ronnie, if this is similar to Stella Artois. And to everybody, cheers, Michelob Light. That's goddamn refreshing. Holy crap, that's good. So I would say we'll get to the Stella comparison if I can recall. But for me here, tons of bready Pilsner crackery kind of malts in there. That is the best part of this beer. Is how malt forward and like white bready. Maybe not quite as sweet as say a brioche, but white bread, like a nice Italian kind of style bread there. Definitely. There's some definite sweet malts in there as well. The sweet kind of bready malt, but again, not like a brioche, not that sweet. Maybe a touch of a touch of a lemony note as it dries. It's just the pale maltiness is coming out. Really, really great. There is an earthy hop zing to this, definitely. And I mean ever so slightly, with like a hop spice peppery zing at the very, very end to balance out the sweet breadier malts, the bready malts in that beer. It actually has because it's I would assume because it's 122 calories, that's making it feel like it has a bigger body than a lot of other light lagers on the market. But it's as high on the light side as you can possibly get for a light beer. It's super crisp, perfect carbonation, perfect mouthfeel. It's actually got a soft texture to it. It really has a nice, soft, almost creamy texture to it as well, which is going really amazingly well with the other flavors in the beer. And it's stupidly refreshing. I mean, there's a little tiny bit of a musty quality to it. I won't lie. There's a little that wet, damp celery note to it. Cellar basement, not celery. Cellar-like note in the basement. I smell that with a lot of those beers from the Michelob line. I don't know if they're using this typical Anheuser-Busch yeast strain. I would guess they are, because I'm kind of getting a similar Budweiser base yeast note in the background. But how's the carbonation? The carbonation is super, super soft and almost, I'm going to just put it out there. It's got an elegant mouthfeel. Yes, it does. Super soft and velvety. Mm-hmm. It's sort of similar to Stella in a way. I think if there were a bigger hop note and presence to the beer, it might be similar, more similar. And I think that the yeast strain is a little different tasting to what Stella is using. I think that beer is even more earthy. Like I say, this beer's got an earthy quality to it, the Michelob Light, but the Stella Artois is a really earthy, hoppier forward kind of a beverage than beer than the Michelob Light. So yeah, the Michelob Ultra. I'm just gonna look that up really quickly. Tap into your beer will tell you all about the Anheuser-Busch products and their ingredients and the nutritional facts. So if I look up the nutritional facts for the Anheuser-Busch beer Michelob Ultra, they're using the rice. So they got water, rice, barley malt, and hops. And that is not typical to most of the legacy brands that we think of for Michelob, like Michelob Lager, Michelob Light, Michelob Amber Bock, those kind of beers. A basement note, like the wet, grainy note you can get in some cheaper adjunct lagers and light beers. Yeah, Michelob Light is a sleeper beer. It's a sleeper beer in the line. It's probably like between, I would have guessed, I don't remember, I didn't see the price tag when I bought it. I would have guessed it was between 17 and 18, a 18 pack that I bought. I'm going to say that at 122 calories, it's not like a lot of other um, light lagers. It's got more body and texture and flavor. I think it is probably, if not, it's got to be, if not for the major corporation brands, your Anheuser-Busch, Miller, Coors, this here is probably the best of them all. If they're calling it light lager, this is the best. Definitely for the style. Uh, for the style, maybe it probably gets a 95. 5 points off. This is 122 calories, not the lightest caloric diet beer in the world. And for me at least, I can give this. I do seriously want to give this a 90. So I just did it. 90 out of 100. I really enjoy the crap out of this beer. I don't buy it enough because, again, it's cheaper just to buy Miller High Life. Well, but it's a great beer at 4.1%. So it's not really light, but it is 4.1% to get away with it. Oh, yes. Michelob Light, 1,000% better than Michelob Ultra. This isn't watery. It's got a little bit of it, but as you're drinking the beer, it is super elegant in the mouthfeel and has some texture and body. So, yeah, man. Yeah, everybody. I'm going to close this one out. Michelob Ultra. Oh, no. Michelob Light. 95 as a style, in that style. And a 90 in my book. I kid you not. Great tasting light lager. So thank you for joining, everybody. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. This is the Thomas Metal 75 channel of YouTube. We host over here the Massachusetts Beer Reviews every Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Stay tuned for the Wild Card Wednesday, where the only admittance fee is a beverage. A beer, any beer, wine, spirit, or pretty much any adult beverage. And let's have some fun. Links will be provided throughout the chat. And all I ask is that you are not a douche on the Wild Card Wednesday. We'll have some great fun. So until next time, cheers. Keep tasting those great beers. Cheers. And we will be seeing you soon. Cheers, everybody. Have a great rest of your Black Friday 2021. Cheers, Ronnie.